The year's first Nintendo Direct was a great start for Nintendo with some major new announcements, remasters of old titles, as well as brand new content for older games. So here's a rapid fire rundown of everything shown off during the livestream, and stick around for the whole video because the biggest update is at the end. We finally got a good look at the newest entry in Nintendo's wholesome and endearing RTS puzzle series, Pikmin. The gameplay trailer showed off a handful of environments as well as various different types of elemental Pikmins and some entirely new creatures as well. We also got a good look at the game's combat, puzzles, and even a boss fight. We also now know that it is set to release on 21st July 2023. Next on the list is Deca Police. One of the standout announcements of this Direct, Deca Police appears to be a detective mystery game with turn-based combat. Players will take on the role of a special investigator in a virtual simulation and collect clues and make deductions in order to solve different cases. The game feels like a significantly expanded version of Ace Attorney fused with the DNA of turn-based JRPGs such as Persona and Dragon Quest. Moving on, we got a brand new cinematic look at the upcoming remake of the first two Advance Wars games. The package will include returning features from the Game Boy Advance version, such as custom maps as well as online play. After the initial delay, the game will now be launching on the Nintendo Switch this year on April 21st. Further down the list, we have Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon. The recently announced prequel to the Bayonetta series got a brief new trailer that showcased much of the game's new mechanics. Set long before the events of the very first game in the main series, the adventure puts you in the shoes of a young Cereza as she tries to rescue her mother. The trailer showed the game's traversal options of various puzzles as well as its combat, all of which requires you to directly control both Cereza herself as well as her demonic companion, Cheshire. The game is set to launch on March 17 this year. For Xenoblade fans, we've got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with an expansion pass. A surprising number of announcements during this Direct were particularly about new content for previously released Nintendo titles, starting with Volume 3 of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 expansion pass. This will now include a new hero named Masha, an optional challenge battle mode that includes a time attack mode, and an optional gauntlet featuring roguelike elements. Volume 4 of the expansion pass was also teased, which is supposedly going to be a major story DLC. For fans of remasters, we've got Ghost Trick. This is a murder mystery puzzle game that puts you in the shoes of a dead man now turned into a ghost. The remaster features improvements similar to the Ace Attorney trilogy on modern consoles, such as reworked art, HD graphics, as well as changes to the game's user interface. The game will be launching this summer with no specific release date given as of yet. Next up, for those who love Splatoon, there's an expansion pass, and Splatoon 3 continues to get new content with its own expansion pass content, which is expected to roll out in two parts. The first wave features various items and areas returning from past Splatoon games, as well as various new game modes. The second wave will include a brand new story expansion called Side Order. Another one of the games shown is Disney Illusion Island. Disney Illusion Island is a side-scrolling platformer set in the realm of Disney's iconic mascots. The game features various characters such as Mickey Mouse himself, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy. The trailer showed off each character's unique abilities as well as the 4-player co-op mode in action. This game launches on the 28th of July, 2023. Next up, if you were looking for more content, Fire Emblem Engage is got an expansion pass, and this pass showed off much of the content you'll be able to access going forward. Wave 2 includes Hector, Soren, and Camilla as playable characters, while Wave 3 includes Chrom and Robin as well as Veronica. Wave 2 is available right now, while Wave 3 and 4 will be confirmed at a later date. Another interesting entry on this list is Wheel of Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. The sequel to Katamari Damacy is finally getting its much-awaited remaster with the reroll version of Wheel of Katamari. Wheel of Katamari Reroll includes additions such as a new character with brand new challenge missions, as well as a proper photo mode. It is set to release on June 2nd of this year. In other news, the Etrian Odyssey collection is also back. The long-dormant RPG series experiences a much-needed comeback this year with the Etrian Odyssey collection. Remastered in HD, this bundle will have the first 3 games in the series with newly drawn character illustrations as well as new difficulty options. This collection will launch on June 1st, 2023, and each game can be bought separately. Another remaster on this list is the Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remasters. The Baten Kaitos series JRPGs have remained in GameCube hell for over a decade. They finally get to break out in these HD remasters featuring much better visuals as well as improved user interfaces and performance. Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remasters will launch in the summer of 2023. And for fans of the lovable pink ball, Kirby makes a return to Nintendo Switch once again with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This version will include an extra episode unlocked after finishing the game that lets you play as a new character named Magalar. The showcase highlighted the freedom in being able to level up your character in your own way as you start off with nothing and slowly gain new powers and abilities. The game will also have 4-player co-op. There's also a demo available right now with the full game releasing on February 24. More on Nintendo Switch Online, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance emulation is finally available on the Switch via Nintendo Switch Online. Game Boy games are available to all Switch owners, while Game Boy Advance emulation is locked behind the expansion pack. Both packages have a decent number of games right now, but they are set to receive additional titles over time. Next up, by far the most shocking announcement in the Direct, even if it wasn't the biggest one, a remaster of the beloved Nintendo classic Metroid Prime was both revealed and released on the same day. Many have noted that this is a borderline remake with its many changes over the original game, particularly its dense visual overhaul. The game is available right now exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. Next up on the series, we've got Master Detective Archives Raincode, another detective game, this one by the developers of the beloved Danganronpa series, Spike Chunsoft. A 3D detective mystery where you'll be solving mysteries alongside an eccentric bunch of characters while utilizing their special powers. This game will be coming to the Nintendo Switch on June 30th of this year. Next up, Professor Layton, The World of Steam. Professor Layton finally gets a jolt back to life, this time with a brand new entry in the series called The World of Steam. Sadly, all we got to see about this one was a brief animated trailer with no gameplay footage and no release date either. And of course, the biggest news you were waiting for this whole video and in the Nintendo Direct: The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This game is back. The trailer showcased a bunch of new elements such as vehicles, new power-ups, as well as the return of both new and returning foes. Ganondorf is back once again to cause all sorts of mayhem in Hyrule, and you will have to stop him yet again. The game will be launching May 12 this year, and a collector's edition containing an art book, steelbook, and various other goodies was also confirmed. And that is a wrap on the first Nintendo Direct of this year.